I don't like any of what's going on right now, which sucks because this was a fun race too, and I really want to start off on a good note. But hey, we persevere, we work through it.
It's a good note because we're here and we're talking about Formula One. Are you ready? I feel like we just need to talk about it. Rather than let's just get right into it with the Backmarkers Formula One podcast and the Hungarian Grand Prix Debrief.
Yes, that is a great name.
Presented by nobody.
Presented by nobody. It could be you. Just email us at backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll get all our own plugs in first.
How many emails do you got a plug in?
No. Ben, come on.
Cut that. That was the worst joke that I could have made. Anyway, moving on.
This is already gonna be hard enough because of all my technical issues. So dude, I'm podcasting and recording from my phone because for some reason my laptop's computer decided to not have access to its own camera anymore. So that's cool. But hey, that's what we're powering through and persevering through. First world problems right here.
Yeah, I mean, we're still connected through the magic of the internet, so
champagne problems. Yes, we are. So that's all that matters, indeed. But yeah, Hungarian Grand Prix. That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that was fun in Hungarian, but that was pretty fun.
That was fun. I think that's how they say it.
Yeah, direct translation there. You're a regular Google app.
100%.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the strategy. I enjoyed a lot of things. I did not really enjoy what happened to Ferrari, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later.
There's a lot of fun little storylines that we can take away from this race itself. And there's a lot of places to start for sure. I think we should definitely start at the beginning with the McLaren battle, since that was the inevitable win all, and that I think that'll flow nicely into Ferrari / just going down the rest of the order. I think it would be nice just to give a little bit of a shout out to qualifying on Saturday though, because that was a heck of a qualifying session. I didn't watch any of it, but I saw the results and I went, holy cow, what are we going to get tomorrow with 2 Aston Martins in the top 10 shootout after our preview going, and there's Aston Martin. I feel like we've said enough about them.
Clearly we didn't.
Clearly we did not. Yeah, so shout out them. Shout out Adrian Newey. Your car did very well this weekend. To be fair, though, we did say they're in that mixture of, no, you take 6th place. No, you take 6th place. No, you take 6th place. So it was just their turn, and we didn't guess properly on that one. So hand up. We messed that one up, but hey, we'll give them their flowers this episode.
Mea culpa. There we go.
But from qualifying, the surprise pole position from Leclerc, and the question of did Ferrari's upgrades, have they finally come through? Or are they going to be good to go here? And for a while, it looked like that was going to be the case.
Until it didn't. And we all got sad.
Yes. Until we got off the medium tire, and then the Ferrari, for some reason, took a shit. The spiciest radio award still firmly sticks with Ferrari because Leclerc eviscerated his team after they got put on hard tires. Basically, did he know they were going to get a hard tire? Was the setup just that bad? What happened there?
So I think that it was something to do with, because they're still their rear end suspension is the thing that they upgraded, right? I think so. I think they're still struggling with their car's ride height and the floor and the plank and everything like that. So I don't know because there was just a tweet that I saw from George that I was actually not from George, but like quoting George.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to get it pulled up really quickly. That basically the way that he saw from being behind the Ferrari was that the car was not right, and they were running it a little bit too low to the ground. So basically, they had to make some changes to the tire pressures and to the engine in order to stop it from being too low to the ground. Is what this post on Twitter summarized that was supposedly quoting George. Shout out to at $50 VT. I don't know who the fuck that is, but came across my feed there, so I don't know where they got that from, but I'm assuming George said it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It gave me hope, and then it took the hope away.
I mean, for good reason though, because I mean, they like that first stint, Piastri behind Norris. First, just an incredible opening lap. I think we should start there as well.
And can we talk about how Lando does on opening laps? Can we talk about that?
Dude, he lucked into his strategy.
Yeah,
he didn't have a choice with this strategy. It just 100%. It played out correctly for him because he did mess up the opening lap.
100%.
But yes, incredible opening lap, which leads into Ferrari and Leclerc staying ahead, growing a lead, maintaining a lead. To pit stops happen. Leclerc goes in first. Piastri answers later, right? Yeah, and then it's Leclerc still out in front after that first pit stop, and it's like, whoa, okay. And it looked like he was just going to be able to keep going on it until he didn't. And then it went horribly wrong for him the rest of the way. I definitely thought he was going to maintain a podium there until George went, yeah, no, thank you. I'm good. And then I'm going to also beat you by 21 seconds.
Yeah. As soon as the radio started and you could see him start to struggle, I was like, oh God, it's over. It's happening again. I'm just too traumatized as a Ferrari fan to have that much hope.
Yeah, no, 100%. Ferrari Ferrari'd hard. But then on the flip side of that, too, with Lewis, you had him after qualifying saying, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I am horrible. And he's literally lost out in the car. When do you think the last time Lewis Hamilton felt lost driving a race car? Ever, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, he started in karts when he was like 8, right?
Yeah,
maybe a little
like
earlier. So probably around then was the last time he didn't feel good in a car.
And even then, he probably thought like, "This is fun." He just didn't have the racecraft yet, you know.
Yeah, jeez.
I know,
and that's a horrifying
Ferrari, thought. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is what Ferrari does to someone right now.
God, dude. I just saw the clip of or it wasn't a clip, it was against something from Twitter. Spain 2000, and it was Sebastian Vettel just like talking to his pit crew, or 2020, excuse me. And he was talking to his pit crew, and just like they were completely clueless, and nothing has changed. It's like, oh fuck. So not feeling great.
Ferrari Ferrari'd hard. I was questioning for that whole first part of the race of like, shoot, we're going into summer break. Ferrari's going to get a win here. Maybe Lewis can fight back a little bit like last week and get into some of those higher to mid-tier point place positions. Are we going to see a whole different situation in the back half of the season? Are they going to be able to bring it to no. They're Ferrari. They're nowhere near anybody anymore. Oh my God, they're really far out of it. Holy hell, they're really bad now again.
Yeah. And honestly, like after I saw the qualifying results, I was like, fuck, Derek's going to be right about everything. Like, I hate this.
I didn't even pick him, though. I picked Lando.
And that's the thing. I knew you'd picked. Didn't you pick Leclerc last weekend?
Hamilton last weekend.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But yes, okay. I thought for a second there, I'm like, shoot, I was a week early on this take. Just the wrong driver.
Yeah. It was rough.
Yes, it was. So Ferrari Ferrari'd real hard today. They've got a long ways to go still. But back to the second half of that battle, the McLarens. So yeah, opening lap. I thought Norris had something going for him when he whips all the way over to the inside, because they were talking very early on in the formation lap and everything like that, that the inside, you want to be on the inside line here at Hungary specifically for like the better run off into the rest of the track and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so seeing Lando go whoop, I was like, oh shoot, he got over there. He's gonna clear all that. Nope, he lost 2 places. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he did it again. Like, how does he keep doing this on the opening lap? This is insane. Piastri runs right through. Alonso gets through. Russell obviously gets through. It's just like, all right, well, it's going to be another one of those. Lando's going to drive his ass off to get 3rd place in this one because he ruined his race from the beginning again. Mm-hmm. And Piastri's just going to run away with this thing. And neither of those things happened because, again, the way the strategy played out. And then honestly, good driving by Lando Norris at the end of the race there. Like, really good driving by Lando Norris.
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he lucks into this strategy. Clearly not the one that they were going with from the beginning, you know.
I think they said it was plan D.
Yeah.
Plan D on the radio.
Yes. Plan D on the radio. We're going to do a one-stopper. And I know they talked about it prior to that even happening about, will some teams try to go for it? It's going to depend a lot on the track temperatures. They think it might be a little bit cooler. That could potentially bring it into play for some of these guys. And some of them, I think others ended up going on to the one stop. Obviously, Lando's was the most important of the group that would have done it. But, I mean, they asked Piastri very early on in the race, too, hey, do you want to try the one stopper? And this was like lap 7. And he's like, I don't know. It's pretty early in the race to figure that one out, you know?
Yeah. I thought they had asked him. I guess it must have been that early because I thought they had asked him after he had already done the pit stop.
So they asked him another question afterwards.
Yeah, they asked him if they thought his tires could go to the end. And it was right. He's like, it's not looking good, guys.
Well, yeah, they asked him that, but they also then asked him, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to pit to go after Leclerc, or do you want to make sure you cover off Lando? And he very clearly said, I need to cover off Lando. Like, yeah, everything that I have is going to be for him. Like, that's the championship battle. I don't care. Essentially, like, I don't care what happens in this race. Clearly, it didn't matter anyways because the Ferrari fell off a cliff after they pit onto their hard tires. But, like, so right away from the beginning, it was like, no, I'm coming after this guy. Like, this is what I have to do. But as Leclerc and Piastri and Russell all take their first pit stops, which leaves Lando out there, he had like what, a 9-second, 10-second, or 11-second gap on Leclerc in second after that first set of pit stops for them. And he kept driving. I'm like, he can go for quite a ways longer. Like, those tires seem to be holding up pretty well. And yeah, just dumb luck, just lucked right into the whole damn thing. I was like, holy hell. I'm like, I didn't know when they pulled him in on lap, I think it was 31 finally. He had like a 2.9 second gap on Leclerc. And I almost thought, I'm like, do you push it one more lap just to see, like, get another set, like another, just another lap out of these tires, see what happens. But I don't know if that would have, if he would have been able to hold that lead afterwards, because Leclerc was gaining a second plus some each lap at that point in time. But that hard tire was so good. It held up, and I mean, it literally lasted the perfect amount of distance for him to end up winning that race. Another lap, he's losing that. He's losing that in another lap. If those tires had to go one more lap, Piastri's going to get around him, and it was a beautiful strategy. Like, two things going after each other there. It was a lot of fun to watch. It really was.
Yeah, even though it wasn't. It didn't go the way I wanted, so it sucked. But it was cool. Yeah, it's one of those things that make you love the sport. So
100%. You know what? I was thinking about this. This is what it reminded me of the season, just kind of so far, just generally speaking. It's like watching Lando Norris is almost like watching the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it was last season, where they should not have won as many games as they did. And they just kept lucking into so many of these dumb wins. A blocked field goal, a blocked this, an interception, a late flag that wins them the game. Like, it's almost like if Lando Norris wins this championship, it'll be a lot like that. Granted, the Chiefs did not win last year. They got their brakes blown off in the Super Bowl. But still, like getting to that point and staying in this and constantly being there is what it kind of feels like rooting for Lando Norris this season. He is getting these wins, and it's like, wow, like we know you're good enough to do this, but how are you winning like this? Like again, today, he messed up again, lap one, and lucked into the best strategy of the race that it was the only way for him to possibly win, and he did it. So again, great job executing with the literal only option you had for yourself, but you also gave yourself only one option in this thing too. Like it to me, this season feels exactly like that. How are you still winning these races? Like what? I know I'm not like a real big Lando Norris fan, and I've staked my flag into his camp this season. Damn, it is stressful though.
No, for sure. I mean, I would push back on the Chiefs thing just because I've heard a lot of people that are more informed about football than me saying that they only won because of the referees.
Well,
Is that
it
the
wasn't
case?
only the referees, but it's still.
But the referees
still,
helped. Okay.
The analogy there is still like,
yeah,
they needed all of the things to go their way. It wasn't like the previous season when the Chiefs were just going out and beating everybody. Like dumb things, little things, one little moment here or there changed the whole point of the game and allowed them to win all of those games last season during the regular season. And this feels a hell of a lot like that for Lando Norris this season, where it truly is, oh my God, he messed it up. Wait a minute. These tires are lasting a hell of a lot longer than we were all thinking. Wait, he can keep going and going and going. He's going to hold this lead. Now we can bring him in. They're going to have to pit again because they've already committed. They're on 2 stops at this point in time. They can't go any further. And Lando's going to have X many more laps on them already with these. Like it's all those like those little moving parts, just butterfly in effect to where it's like, oh, now he's winning. You know, that's what it feels like it has happened all season. Yeah, there you go.
So that awkward wins. Silence there. We love it.
Lando wins. We have a championship on our hands. Yeah. And again, it doesn't feel like it should be this close, given how, again, the first half of this season has gone. But at the end of the day, that McLaren is very good, and we very much do have a championship on our hands still.
When do you think McLaren wraps the Constructors' Championship up by?
Ooh, let's see. What's the standings at? So let's see teams. Oh my God.
Yeah, 100-point lead, right?
It's not even close. McLaren has 559 points. Jeez. Ferrari in second place has 260.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
So they said, I forgot about this. They said this on the ESPN/Sky broadcast this morning. If McLaren just didn't race again until Austin, and Ferrari scored maximum, or if McLaren didn't race again most of the rest of the season, and Ferrari scored maximum points for as long as they could, it would take them to Austin to catch up.
That's crazy.
Yes. That's how much further ahead they are than everybody. So with that, I don't know the actual mathematical.
Oh yeah, no, just vibes.
Places.
What's your feel?
That's what I'm going to look real quick. Look ahead at the calendar. So let's see. Next up is the Netherlands, and then Italy.
Think they do it by Singapore?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 more races left. Singapore is in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dutch Grand Prix, Italian, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Singapore. They're gonna wrap
without doing the math. Without doing the math, that's the call.
I mean, you got to imagine they're gonna have at minimum 1 more 1-2 in there, and at worst, it's gonna be a double podium for them at probably 3 of those races. Yeah. I don't see why they couldn't have that wrapped up by Singapore for sure. Which I don't know if that's the earliest it's ever been done, but that's pretty damn early.
I don't know either. Singapore or Texas. I mean, it's going to be one or the other that they have it done by.
Jesus.
But we'll see.
The last 4 races have been McLaren 1-2s.
And shout out to
4 out
McLaren
of
winning their
5.
200th race today,
Mhm.
all time. Pretty impressive.
That was another thing I was gonna say. Like when you look back on the season so far, and you look at McLaren, like you don't look at the whole like in this year, in this season, looking back on it. Like you look back
Mhm.
like you would look at like early F1 in the 50s or something like that. And you were to look at McLaren's like biggest moments this year. The British winning at their home race, winning the 200th Grand Prix, winning, I think there was one other like major thing in there. I'm pretty sure Norris, winning Monaco. Norris has all of those wins.
Not
So if
England.
he won Monaco, he won Britain, and then he won the
No,
200th.
he didn't. Did he win Britain?
Yes. Yeah, he won the British Grand Prix.
What was the one where he was talking to his mom and he was sad? I thought that was at home. Was that
Maybe
not at
that was
home?
Belgium. Well, he won the
That was
British Grand Prix.
It would have
Last
been
week was
Belgium.
Belgium.
I'm
It had
tripping,
to be
dude.
last week because last week for some reason the broadcast was very much mom heavy, which
Yeah.
it was a little weird because it was like, yes, they all have mothers. I don't know why we're going to look at all of them as many times as possible this weekend. Maybe there was some sort of a
I'm not
thing
going to
going
say
on.
anything that you would have to censor.
So, but no, like if you look back on this year so far, like the big moments from McLaren, Norris has won all of them. You'd probably go, man, he must have won this like heavy-handed. He just kept winning. Actually,
Yeah.
he's behind at this moment in the championship. Like that is how topsy-turvy of a year this has been for Norris. And well, I can't say McLaren because they've just dominated everything. But yeah, what a fun way for that to play out today. Yeah, it was fun. I very much enjoyed it. I was sitting on the edge of my couch as it was getting down to the end, and I was like, Norris can win this thing. Like, oh my God, Norris can actually win this thing. And then it got to the last 5 laps when Piastri finally, closed that gap. I think he was in DRS range at that point. I was like, holy cow. I'm like, he can't put a foot wrong here. And he didn't. And he just didn't. So that was very impressive and fun to see.
Yeah, and it's really a shame that Oscar wasn't able to step up and take it from him. You know what I mean? We've seen in terms of the racecraft moments where putting a little bit pressure, Lando is cracked under pressure, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it you got to give him credit that he was able to put it together, but you also got to look at the guy who was challenging that wasn't able to put together the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense necessarily.
Well, I mean, if your name wasn't Max Verstappen this weekend, you weren't overtaking anywhere except for that main straight where the DRS was. How many overtakes did Verstappen have in that chicane there? It was a crazy number. It felt like every other second they were turning. Here's Max overtaking in the chicane. It's like, wow, everybody must be able to do that. Nope, just Max.
Only Max, yep. And
Max.
It's one of those places where you don't expect anything like that to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if I've seen a car get past somebody there. And it's like he kind of made it happen. I don't even know how to put into words what I'm thinking. It was just kind of crackhead shit. It was just kind of like out of absolutely nowhere.
Well, they kept saying it. They're like, and Verstappen again in the chicane. Like nobody passes there, and he just kept doing it. It was crazy. This was a fun race. This really was a fun race.
Definitely.
But that's why he's also an alien, because truly he was the only one doing it. Like Lewis wasn't even doing it. Again, he was having his own problems in the car.
He did it on Lewis,
finishing
didn't he?
12th. Yeah, he did it on Lewis.
That was the first one that he did.
That's where I don't know if that was the first one. I think he had done quite a few already at that point because Red Bull pitted him into like all of the traffic and he yelled at them on the radio for that. But he got stuck behind Lewis in the DRS train behind, I think it was Hadjar and Behrman. And then Verstappen, that's when they thought he made contact with Lewis because Lewis ran so far off the track. And then you look back at it, it's like, he wasn't
just scared him
close to him. Yeah, he just kind of scared him a little bit. Because again, why would you expect a car to be there?
Exactly.
But then because of the avoiding action that Lewis took, it was like, well, he didn't do anything wrong. He just drove off the track,
Yeah.
But also, you don't want to get hit and lose your race at the same time. So it's one of those catch-22 type of things. But still. But George Russell, again, Mr. Consistent, had his car right there, finishes third, a nice third.
it feels weird to think of him getting anything other than third at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
He
He
does
was
have a win this year.
yeah, no, but first he was
But
Mr. Saturday. Now it seems like he's Mr. Third Place. You
yeah.
know, like he needs a slightly better vehicle.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent. He's Mr. Third Place, like you said. It was a perfectly consistent George Russell race again, which Mercedes should be very happy that they get to keep him. And well, I'm assuming they're going to re-sign him because no, he
I
doesn't
don't
have a
know.
contract. But
I don't know.
The Max story has already been put to bed, apparently. So apparently,
Which
only Max Verstappen said it.
I mean, I don't know. It was kind of crazy that we were all kind of waiting for it, and now that this last race comes about, it's definitely the door is shut.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like we were saying, 2027, money's on for where he goes. You know.
Exactly. So, but yeah, George, absolutely fantastic race. His teammate Kimi, again, not a great qualifying, comes finishing 10th, finally gets a point back for himself. So hopefully, it's a little momentum for him going into the summer break here. So I think you got to be happy with that out of Mercedes. I don't know if what did they say they did? They gave him his old floor back or suspensions back or something like that.
Suspension,
so
yeah.
Maybe a little bit more comfortable, but I don't know. It wasn't like I don't think it was necessarily an alien watch type performance. It was just a good performance to kind of him finding that groove again to get back to some better place finishes. After his podium, because it has gone very wrong from after that podium.
Mm-hmm. But and that's what we all wanted to see.
It going wrong for him? I know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we wanted to see him find his stride again,
Yeah. So, and it looks like he's a little bit back on that stride going for him. Yeah. But yeah, good again. Great performance out of George again. Good weekend overall, I'd say, for Mercedes going into the break. Things to build off of. But the team that had an even better weekend was Aston Martin because they had the great qualifying.
What the fuck? Where did that come from?
They had the amazing qualifying and then followed it up in the race itself too. Yeah, no, I know where this came from. Couldn't tell you. Don't have a clue what they did. Maybe we got to start looking at upgrades more because did they bring upgrades? Have they had upgrades recently? I don't know.
And I know that Newey is only working on next year's car. You know what I mean? So we can't even give him the credit for doing anything. Yeah.
Right. So. But I mean, so Lance finishes 7th, which they've had
good for him.
They've had one of their cars in kind of like that range at a max since Alonso scored his points for the first time this season. But yeah, just the 5th, 6th, and then to follow up with a 5th, 7th finish, insane, just insane. Honestly, Alonso gets the 10 points. Yeah, Stroll gets 7th. Good for him. Shout out Aston Martin. I mean, good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
There we go.
Love to see it. But even better on top of that, Gabriel Bortoleto.
Oh my God, that was crazy,
dude. I'm not kidding. This race was awesome. It really was. It was a great race. I very much enjoyed this one. It was fun from qualifying. There was the fun battle at the front for the race win there. You had these just again random different drivers all fiddling in the back half of the points total. So this has been absolutely great. It kind of sucks honestly because you're kind of at a point now where the midfield is pretty competitive. Any given weekend, it could kind of be anybody to kind of fill in from 5th down for the most part. And who knows what's going to happen next year because all the cars are changing.
Yeah. No, but that's what makes it even more exciting. You get to know these drivers a little bit. You get to see, what their style is and who they kind of have beef with amongst themselves. Which nobody really has any like real beef, but you think of Alex Albon.
Sometimes they do.
Well, sometimes, but you think of how Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton just kept coming together, and it's like, oh,
Lewis kept coming into Hamilton.
Hey, yo,
what?
No, just the way you said it was funny.
God.
Sorry.
Truly knocked Albon out of the Red Bull.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where it's like you get to know the drivers a little bit, and no matter where they end up next year, there'll be all sorts of storylines and all sorts of rivalries and everything to follow. So
Yeah.
And then was it Sainz and Antonelli? Who was it? I think I texted you about it.
Yeah, you said they cut away, and I don't think I remember seeing that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You said something with Sainz, yeah.
Yeah, Sainz and Antonelli, they're going for a battle. And then Oscar Piastri's in the pits. Let's focus on his outlap. Like, oh my God, dude. Really? Like, we get on
At least give me a
action.
picture.
Dude, Formula One needs picture in picture more than anything in the world. It's so bad.
Because they do it sometimes.
Not enough. Not when it's just like, I don't know. Not when they have to immediately cut away to show somebody in the pit stop just because they're in the lead, or they're closer to the top of the leaderboard than some of the actual good midfield racing. But yeah, that was devastating to see. That honestly really pissed me off.
But shout out Gabriel Bortoleto, another really good drive out of him. So yeah, again, if you're Audi, you've got to be pretty damn happy with your driver lineup and your rookie that you've got on your team there, because he's putting in some legit. Really good performance recently. Yes, very much really so. Good. And I know you want to keep joking about not thinking at all about this guy, but he's making you think a lot right now. Liam Lawson, another 8th place finish. Liam Lawson.
Who?
You can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. You can't do that anymore.
That joke is banned now.
He must have heard the award that we given him, somehow seen it or another, and just decided, you know what, screw you guys. I'm gonna make you remember me. Maybe we just kicked his ass into high gear here, and he was just like, yeah, no, I deserve to have a race seat. He's been better recently. He has been.
I still don't think so, but all right.
Look, Liam Lawson was the best Red Bull driver this weekend. He scored the most points out of any of the other Red Bull drivers this weekend, and that includes Max Verstappen.
Which is insane.
You got to give it to him. You just do.
You do got to give it to him.
We'll give you flowers.
I still just have a bad taste in my mouth, and with what's his name?
Oh, Ricardo?
No, not Ricardo. With Arvin Lindblad coming through. There's no way, like, one of those guys has to be out. The question is who, you know?
I mean, there's one guy who's consistently been 4th out of those 4 recently. And by recently, I mean basically since they
switched him into the Red Bull seat. Yeah. Yeah.
That was another tough outing for Yuki Tsunoda today. Yeah. It just was. 17th.
Starting from the pit lane. Yeah. Starting at the bottom, now we're still at the bottom.
Yeah.
We hate it.
And again, he should have finished 18th because Behrman's car just broke. So, I mean, he's having a tough go at it. He just is. Yeah. It is not gone right at all for Yuki. It really hasn't.
Yeah. And it's a shame to see, but it's the name of the game. Hopefully the summer break brings everybody back nice, well rested and ready to compete at their best. But I don't know if that car's issues are going to be solved by 3 weeks away for everybody.
Right. So that's probably going to be one of those things where interior on the team, and I think this is going to be a bigger deal now that Laurent is the team principal at Red Bull. It might be, okay, we have these goals for you 3 drivers. Obviously not Max Verstappen. Whoever does the worst at achieving those goals is probably going to be the one who doesn't get to stay if you do plan on bringing in Arvin for next season, right? Yeah. And whatever those are going to be, it might not be, Yuki, you need to be top 10 every time. It might be, we know this car is shit, but you might need to be just in the 10th through 12th range more consistently, because the dead last performances, I know this car is bad. It can't be that bad. He's way behind everybody else. Hadjar finishes 11th. He's in 17th. And aside from last weekend, overall, those other 2 drivers have been more around that 8th through 12th place pretty consistently, with Yuki just nowhere close to being in the picture.
And even Max, I mean, he finished outside of the points, right?
He finished ninth today.
Last weekend he was outside of the points, I think.
I thought he scored points last weekend. Let's see.
Could be all the crack I do that.
Belgique. Yeah, he finished fourth.
Finished fourth. See,
yeah, no, Max has still scored at points at every race this year.
I do too. I do too much crack. Sorry, don't listen to me.
It's okay.
Yeah,
this was just his worst performance all year because he finished ninth.
Yeah,
which again,
but that's closer to some of the other Alpha Tauri racing bulls, whatever we want to call them, cars. You know.
Well, yeah. Again, he wasn't the best out of the four. Liam again bested him by being in eighth, but again with Max, it's kind of one of those things where you go, okay, what did he say about his performance and his team's performance? Okay, we believe you. Why did you put me into all this traffic? Why did you pit me here? Like, this is not how we should be doing things. You know the state of this car. You know we need to be in certain pockets or whatever. And because he was further up ahead of that. Granted, he didn't qualify super highly, but he had gotten the car to a position where it was doing better. Like, he was fighting with Bortoleto for a decent part of that race, and then they pitted him again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So some of that's just probably, hey, look, this was just kind of like a bad strategy weekend for us and our team, and our car isn't great. And I know he said already too that he doesn't know if he's going to win another race this year, just with the way the car is at the moment. But
and I'd be surprised if he did.
I would too. I think if he does, his best chance is going to be at home in the Netherlands when we get back, just because it's the Netherlands and it's the home crowd, and he very clearly loves that track. So, that's your best chance there. Otherwise, well, the other three, I think it'll just be again, hey, we have these markers for you. You know, I say that though. How can you get rid of Hadjar? I really don't see it. He had a good bounce back weekend, finishes 11th. Again, he's still very close to the rest of them. So from plum last weekend to being back into the points mixture, you got to like where he was at the end of this race too. I don't see how you can move on from him if you're a Red Bull. At least keep him in the Racing Bulls whatever seat, right?
Yeah, and that's the problem with Lindblad coming through, is because of those guys, really none of them you want to drop. The argument could be made for Yuki because he's been in the program for 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
But the argument could also be made for Lawson because he's failed when he's been brought up to the big team, you know? So
can you even really say that? He got 2 races, you know?
No, and that's the problem with the Red Bull Junior Academy and the whole structure of Red Bull having 2 teams.
Right.
You know, it's insane that they don't really give any of their guys really a fair shake or time.
Right.
So
I don't
know.
The driver who's gotten the most time has been Yuki, and it's like
but it's also that's a car that Max Verstappen is coming in 9th in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you'd hope.
Yes.
But you'd hope that he'd be able to come 12th.
Right.
13th, you know, maybe the occasional 10th.
Right, like when he first moved up, he had that first week where we were like, okay, like give him a couple races, and then he was in that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th for a decent string there, and again, it's just completely fallen off for him. Where it's like, okay, what happened? You found out he wasn't getting any sort of development on his car specifically. Last week it was okay. Well, maybe they've figured some things out. He looked a little bit more racy out there, and then now it's okay. Well, we're right back to he's nowhere in the picture. So, tough, but that's kind of the fun of the drama at Red Bull is, well, what are they going to do? You have the riches of 4 drivers, but you can't figure out who to pair with your top driver at the top team. You know,
and it seems like one of them is out. You know, the top driver at the top team. It seems like his patience is thin, and his will to be there is thinner.
In a sport where patience is generally thin already.
Yeah. You know? And you know, you hope that a change of scenery for Max is a good thing that brings him back to the top. Because ultimately I think the sport's more entertaining when he's fighting for wins and the best drivers are with the best teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it could be good for Red Bull in terms of
Rebull.
a rebuild. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
You think about like football teams or basketball teams, like having a couple seasons in the slumps before they start dominating.
Right.
You know what I mean? That could be something that's good for them if they have four younger talents and they don't have the pressure of a championship fight on their hands.
Mm-hmm. Right. But if you have Max on your team, you're always in a state of, hey, we need to be in a championship fight here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And honestly, for basically the entire time of Red Bull, they have been there.
Yeah.
Granted, there were the times after Vettel left where it was the Ricardo Verstappen, where they were very clearly like the third best team, but they were still there and still competitively there too. So
fighting for wins. You know
exactly.
what I mean? When you have like a Monaco.
This is the first real year where they're not in that picture very clearly.
Yeah. And that's the place where they need to be is in that top three in order to have a guy like Max to make the difference. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what the right sport analogy is, but when you have like a baseball pitcher who's like A1, incredible, and you can't put run support behind him, how long are you going to have that pitcher for?
Right.
How long is Skeens going to be in Pittsburgh?
Pay him enough money.
Dude, we can't, this is not a baseball podcast, unfortunately.
That's okay. We don't have to say much more about baseball other than that. But yes, that is a fair analogy. The Pirates have not necessarily been great. I think they're right around a 500 ball club right now, maybe just under it. So yeah, it's the same thing of if you can't play for a loser for forever if you're that good. You're enough of a talent that whoever is at the top will want you and they'll pay for you. So it just is what it is. With that, let's see. We talked about Hamilton finishing 12th. He was lost out there in the car. We talked a little bit about Sauber already. Hülkenberg comes 13th here. He had an up and down kind of race as well. He had that 5-second time penalty for the early start.
And they both moved ahead of time. It's just Gabriel Bortoleto was at a complete stop when the official time that he had to be at a complete stop by was.
Okay.
Kind of unfortunate, kind of a shame, but also it's the way it goes. Usually that penalty is kind of open and shut.
Right. It just is what it is. And Hülkenberg was moving. So, but he comes home 13th. Yeah, not a bad race, I would say.
Yeah. Bortoleto is the real story out of the Sauber.
Bortoleto had just a really good race today, and it was good to see. And again, if you're Sauber / Audi going into this, you're like, we've got a good driver lineup right now, and we're very happy.
Feeling really good.
Next year's going to look like. Yeah, exactly. That brings us to Williams, 14th and 15th. That's probably their most consistent race they've had.
Yeah, the one where they're the closest. Drivers. Yeah,
but yeah, you're outside of the points on that one at the same time. But again, that's just it. JV has said it. He doesn't really care. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care what happens. So I don't know. Sainz finished ahead of Albon. Cool, but you didn't score points either. So just kind of sucks if you're a Williams fan. But you're still very firmly in 5th place in the constructors too. So I don't know. I really don't know how to view this one for Williams. And honestly, aside from them scoring points, I really don't know what to think of Williams this season, because it's like you've set the expectations so low for yourself that anytime you do better than that, it's like, sweet. You're not dead last. I don't think they really have been dead last at all, or maybe once they have been this season. And it's like, that's where I kind of thought you were going to be, and you've gone way over that. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, congratulations on really dampering my expectations, because when you have performances like this, I just kind of go, okay, whatever. Like, you said you didn't care anyway, so.
And that's the big thing, is that they're shooting for next year. So, I mean, I don't think it matters if they slide down to 6th in the constructor thing. Like, obviously it matters. I don't think they're mad about it from the wind tunnel testing perspective.
Right.
So
maybe the money perspective, but
they've got fucking venture capital money. They're probably all set, you know.
Fair enough. I suppose that could be true. So, but yeah, Williams 14th, 15th. Science, congratulations, beat your teammate. Probably still don't feel great about it personally, though, as a driver. But again, it's all about 2026, which honestly aren't all of them except for McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Aren't they all really just focused on next year, anyways?
I would argue Mercedes is probably pretty focused on next year too.
Yeah, Mercedes. Yeah, Mercedes, Ferrari. Oh, you would say they are focused on next year too. Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's like they're all kind of in that boat. I think Williams just the most vocal about it from the earliest. Where
yeah,
we're
in the most blunt kind of way, because James Vowles can't keep his mouth shut.
Right. Yeah, he's like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We'll try anything. It does not matter. We're just trying to get data this year. It's like, okay, fair enough. Whatever. Haas Esteban finishes 16th again. Behrman out with a car being broken. Case of the car being broken. Again, they've kind of fallen off from their early season hype for sure. I don't know if that's just because same thing, they're not really caring about developing or doing anything this year, or it's a case of we're Haas and that just kind of happens to us generally.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of both, a little column A, a little column B.
Probably that, yeah.
Right? And then you've Alpine. Franco beat Gasly. Cool. It was 18th and 19th.
Yeah, not reading into that one that much.
Nice.
So is that all the teams? Are we ready to go through our predictions?
Yes, that is all the teams, and that can take us into our fantasy review. It was a much closer finish for us this weekend.
Still won.
I did still win. The big gaps weren't that big, but we were pretty evened out overall with some of those. So, like the largest place differential was only 8 places. Verstappen over Tsunoda, Leclerc over Hamilton. So we were split on that. But then the kicker really ended up being I had the Russell over Antonelli to give me more points to work with my negatives because we each had 3 negatives on the weekend. But you just had your big loser there was Hulkenberg over Bortoleto. Mine was Behrman over Ocon. So with that, I ended up with 8 points after the race was all said and done, and you ended up at -1 after the race was all said and done.
Mr. Consistency, same score
it's a
as
little
last
better.
Weekend. No, I was -1 last weekend too, wasn't I?
No, your point total on this year ended up at -1 after last weekend. And that was because last weekend you were like -17 or something like that.
Nice. So my point total is now -2. I like it.
Yes. So, your point total is now -2. But the weekend itself was a little bit better overall for you.
Jesus.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what our picks exactly were while watching the race. The only one I remembered was I had Verstappen and I had Russell, and then afterwards I was like, I think I have some of this negative stuff, but I don't know exactly which ones or how that worked. And I couldn't remember if you picked Hulkenberg or Bortoleto. Clearly it was Hulkenberg over Bortoleto, so that's really the one that bit you in the butt there. That brought you down. But again, it happens.
I don't think I'd have won even if I had that one, right?
If you correctly picked that, you would have won. For sure, because you would have had 7 points. You would have had 17 minus 4. You would have had 13 points to my 8.
Damn.
So, yeah, again, that was the big one there that really decided the weekend for us. But yeah.
There we go.
We go into the summer break with that. On our race picks, though, I had a clean sweep.
Yeah, you did.
Sweep. That's my first one, dude. That feels real nice going into the break here.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And I was sitting there, I was watching, I was like, oh, Derek beat the shit out of me, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I didn't have it to pull up to see what our picks were, but I was like, oh, I think he got everything.
Mm-hmm. I did. I sure did. Yep, we went over on 18.5, only Behrman not being knocked out. The gap was 0.69 seconds between Norris and Piastri, so that was the under 5 there for you. And then I had Norris for the win, where you had Piastri for the win, which again truly came right down to the wire. So this was fun. But what we need to do now is we need to add Hungary into our rankings, into our Grand Prix rankings this year. So, do you want me to remind you of what you have so far? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have in order, top to bottom, Great Britain, Miami, Canada, Spain, Austria, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Emilia-Romagna, Bahrain, Belgium, Japan, Monaco, and then China.
It's got to be up there. It's got to be.
Yeah. I have
got to
mine
be top
up there.
5.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
it's got to be top 5. I don't want to go. So let's go again. Can you give me my top 5 one more time?
Yep. You got Great Britain, Miami, Canada, Spain, Austria for your top 5.
I'm thinking above Spain feels too low.
That would put it in 4th.
Let's put it right above Spain. I don't feel good about it because it definitely wasn't beating Great Britain.
No.
Definitely wasn't beating.
You have Miami, then Canada. That's where it would slot in behind that.
Yeah, it definitely was beating Canada. So 4th. Gotta say 4th.
That would be 4th. So you have it at 4th?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I've kind of gone back and forth on this one on if I like it. I don't think it was that high for me because it was a good race.
Mm-hmm.
And like the opening lap was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The finish was great. You had good strategy. You had clean racing throughout. The middle stuff kind of didn't change all that much, but it was really exciting at the very beginning and at the very end, and even throughout the middle. So I like it up there. I'm debating about where I like it up there because I have my top 5: Great Britain, Austria, Miami, Canada, Spain, Australia. I thought I had Australia above Spain. What happened in Spain? I know Piastri won. I'm looking at the results right now. Piastri won, Norris second. 2 DNFs, Antonelli, Albon. What happened in Spain?
Your guess is as good as mine, dude. I don't remember 5 minutes ago. Shit, I barely remember Hungary.
I thought I had Australia above Spain for some reason because I liked Australia a lot.
Yeah.
I think something happened. Spain, Austria, Australia. Spain, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Emilia-Romagna. Okay. Not knowing what I had for Spain, if I wrote this down wrong, I'm going to kick myself because I like Australia. And I think I would put Hungary behind Australia. But for some reason, I don't remember why I have Spain at 5. And I feel like this was better than Spain at 5. It's like I feel like my order should have been Canada, Australia, 5. Hungary 6, Spain 7. That's what I think I need to have here. I'm gonna have to read.
Hey, I'm not gonna stop you from changing things on the fly, Derek.
I think I gotta change this because this was an exciting race, but there wasn't that like wow moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's missing for me. So I think I'm gonna slot this in at that would be 6 for me. Put it in as number 6 on the big board.
And that's a fair ranking.
Yeah, and you've got yours at 5. So yeah, again, pretty close to where each other's are there. Cool.
There we go. No arguments for me.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, that kind of covers the race. That's our debrief here for you from Hungary. We go into the summer break now. We are going to have episodes for you. Beginning of the week,
we're not going to tell you what they are.
You don't want to go into that yet? You want to give a little bit
I feel like we got to surprise the people. We got to leave them on the edge.
A little bit of okay.
Or the person.
Well, how about just like a little hint?
Little hint?
I think we should give them just a little hint. It's going to be a 3-parter.
and it's going to cover the entire 3 weeks of the summer break.
Yes, it will. There'll be part 1, part 2, and then part 3.
Wait, what?
Of this.
You're doing part 1, part 2, and part 3
of the
for a 3-part episode
for the summer. Yes, I am. I know, it's crazy. How could someone do such a thing?
Jeez.
Absolutely wild. I know, it doesn't make any sense. And then part 3 will be the week. It'll technically be race week, because at the end of that we'll have our Pontiac Grand Preview for the Netherlands. So,
which we love to see.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one. You're going to enjoy, listener.
No, it's going to be fun 3.
The next 3 episodes, as it's a trilogy series.
Where is this going to rank in terms of great trilogies? That's the real question.
I think it might be up there with like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I mean, really the greats, honestly.
I don't know if anything's up there with Lord of the Rings, but all right.
Fun fact, I've still not seen the last movie in the Lord of the Rings.
And with that, listener, it's time to end the podcast. Goodbye.
We'll see you next time.